they move forward with helping pick up trash in our city. Comprehensively, those efforts were to remove bag trash from areas, again, throughout the city where there's been great concern. This initiative absolutely supplemented the solid waste collections based on the issues and challenges that were faced and are being faced by the contractors of the city. To date, Operation Mardi Gras, that team has picked up about 197 loads of trash and has cleared really about 10 completed zones in the city, subzones within our areas. A few days before we launched Operation Mardi Gras, you know that we opened up our transfer station at Elysian Fields. And that was really out of a request from residents wanting an option for them to be able to go ahead and discard their own trash, but also trash of their neighbors and their neighborhoods. And so I just want to thank those residents who stepped up to the plate to not only help themselves, but also help their neighborhoods and their neighbors. And they went to work. And I just wanted to really just commend them for that. That is truly the spirit of the city of New Orleans. And it was definitely an example that was set, not only for this time, but I think times to come. And so that was just a really good deal. So when we also opened up Elysian Fields in terms of the transfer station, we knew that it was, again, not a permanent solution, but again, trying to address the immediate needs on the ground. And it's very important that our residents understand that trash collections across the board, eliminating trash throughout our city, remains a top priority for me and my team. So on today, I'm entering into 4 additional contracts to supplement curbside solid waste collections in both service areas, 1 and 2. And again, this approach is one that is going to be methodical, as well a coordinated approach amongst many different contractors, as well as equipment, additional crews, working in partnership on this new mission, again, to clean up our city. Now, when I talk about being methodical and when I speak about a coordinated approach through all of these various contractors that we are entering into to bring them on board, it was very fitting that my team and I thought about needing an additional set of boots on the ground, just to make sure that, again, we have the visibility on the street, we have accountability at every level to ensure that the mission is accomplished from start to finish. And what I mean by adding those additional boots on the ground, that's why I have Lieutenant Talley joining us this afternoon. So the emergency contracts that are being awarded, we're entering into, is a couple of them. 1, Ceres Environmental Services, LLC, River Birch, LLC, Waste Management, Inc., as well as Witt O'Brien's, LLC. These are the 4 contracts that I will be entering into on this mission. Again, will be coordinated on the ground to ensure accountability across the board by our Colonel Talley, who is with us. You know, I really do just need to thank both River Birch, who is already a partner with the city, but also Waste Management, Inc., for agreeing to work together in partnership in ways that we have not seen truly before. And so it just bears me saying thank you to them, because, again, this is a strategy that we're deploying that is requiring multiple companies, multiple sets of equipment, and coordination across the board. The city is also pursuing FEMA funding to subsidize the cost of this mission, which we do believe will be in the range of about $20 million. We recognize that the only thing that will give real comfort to the residents of our city is action. Bottom line, They want this trash removed. They want the city cleaned up. I do as well. But one thing I want a little bit further, moving outside of Ida, is for the city of New Orleans to remain clean and trash-free. That is not just up to the city of New Orleans, our contractors, but us as a city and as the people of this great city. As I said, cleaning up the city entirely remains a top priority. And so with this mission, I'm just hoping that it is a real demonstration to the public that I'm serious about it. My team is serious about it, and we will complete this mission. And as I told my team, I do not want to do a U-turn. So meaning as we approach this mission, that we keep it moving, we clean up this city, but we also ensure that continuity in trash collection remains intact and in place, which will trigger some additional really efforts on my behalf as we move through this first phase. So this will provide, I know, and I do believe, significant operational efficiency, and that's what we need at this time. So our mission is planning to begin on tomorrow morning, and we will operate daily from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And also, as you all, I'm sure, followed on this morning, I made a mention to it on last week about the city's now encouragement of the New Orleans City Council, which moved forward this morning, that would provide, it would be more like a credit of $24 to all of our customers, all of our residents' sanitation bills that we know come through the Sewage and Water Board, that fee of $24. So because of the impacts of Hurricane Ida, this will be a city-wide initiative that will free this burden off of our residents, again, throughout the city. There will be no checks being mailed in terms of a refund. It will show up pretty much as a negative $24. So just wanting to make that very clear. So without further ado, I'm going to ask Mr. Matt Torrey to come forward. Again, he serves as our director of the Department of Sanitation for the City of New Orleans. So thank you again. Matt?
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. I just wanted to start by saying, the Mayor touched upon Operation Mardi Gras, which was started last week. I want to give a big thank you to the operational departments in the City of New Orleans, Department of Sanitation, Department of Public Works, Parks and Parkways, Mosquito and Termite and Rodent Control, and others who have been working continuously since the day after Hurricane Ida, have not had a day off, most of those employees since then, and continue to work tirelessly to get this city cleaned up. So I am extremely appreciative of their work efforts and honored to be working alongside of them as the director of the Department of Sanitation. It's been 25 days since Hurricane Ida hit New Orleans. I know it feels like it's been almost a year. And for residents with trash in front of their homes, it feels like it's been an eternity. We're not here to discuss how we got in this situation, the steps that have been taken to date, but to talk about the actions that the city has planned to bring about a resolution to this trash crisis that's plaguing our city. The city has assembled a team of both local and national contractors that are going to bring additional equipment here to remove trash from the public right-of-way throughout the entire city of New Orleans. In addition to our existing solid waste collection providers, the city has secured resources from Ivy Waste, Ramelli Waste, Coastal Environmental Services, Widow Bryan's, Waste Management, and River Birch Landfill. I want to be very clear in the distinction of the work that we are about to undertake as it pertains to storm debris removal, which is underway. These are two completely separate work streams, activities that are going to happen separately. The resources won't overlap based on FEMA regulations. Beginning tomorrow, Friday, September 24th, the city's contractors will begin methodically removing all trash from the city's public right-of-way and will continue to ramp up their resources through the weekend. The additional resources coming to the city will work in unison with the city's solid waste trash providers to comprehensively and decisively remove all trash from the public right-of-way in the neighborhoods throughout our city. The city will not be accessing private property as part of this project, and we will not be removing waste tires as part of this project with these additional resources. Of course, the city's sanitation department will continue to remove waste tires from the public right-of-way as part of our core mission, as we always have. The city's EOC will orchestrate a clearing path, starting with the neighborhoods facing the most severe trash issues, and we will work to cover the entire city as part of this project. Information regarding the project status will be shared via NOLA Ready. As part of this project, the mayor touched on Waste Management's transfer station on Chef Mentor Highway will be reopened, and will receive waste not only from this project but also from the public. We are extremely grateful to Waste Management for very rapidly restarting the Waste Management transfer station, which has been shuttered since 2007. The operational efficiencies that this project will gain as a result of having a transfer station on the eastern flank of the city are immeasurable. The city understands that the recovery from Hurricane Ida and the ensuing trash crisis has been painful and frustrating for residents. We understand that we have work to do to regain the confidence of the residents, and I want to let everyone know that we are committed to doing so. At this time, I'd like to introduce Lieutenant Colonel Euclid Talley from GOSEP, who will be leading operations for this project. We are very grateful to GOSEP. They were able to assign Colonel Talley for this very critical mission.
Thank you, Matt. Colonel?
Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to be here. This is an operation that is done throughout the state, post, pre, and during storms. The support that the Governor's Office of Homeland Security provides. Our concept and our execution for this specific mission is going to be in direct support of the incident commander, who's the director of sanitation for this incident. So in collaboration with the Office of Homeland Security here in New Orleans, we'll set up an emergency operations center to facilitate and assist in any issues the contractors are having, to ensure complete coordination and to ensure there are no overlap, and to designate the optimal amount of output throughout the duration of this operation. We've got several points of contacts based upon the capacity and capability that these contractors bring, the execution and the ability to recover. Again, this is a recovery from a natural disaster is a huge thing. So we've got other parishes and other municipalities in Louisiana that are undergoing the same thing. I've got counterparts in those venues doing the same thing that I am doing in support of the incident commander. So this is a very specified and focused effort. And again, I'm honored to be here and honored to work with the mayor's staff, who's got quite a bit of capability and capacity already on the ground.
Thank you so much, Colonel. All right. Ramsey, anything to add?
Just very quickly, just this is a variety of things led us to this point, but with Hurricane Ida, I just want to thank our city employees and the Sewage and Water Board employees for the incredible work that they have done gathering. I want to say the last count was around 1,100 tons of trash since Friday of last week. Today's Thursday, and they worked every day. And those men and women out there stepped into the breach and held us over while we got the rest of this elegant solution to a very dirty problem underway. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Ramsey. Thank you, Ramsey. Well, you know, my people know I love them in terms of the employees of the city of New Orleans. And so I just appreciate how they always kind of lean on in. And we have faced so many challenges as a city in the past 3.5 years. And with every challenge, we've looked the challenge straight in the eye and provided some real action. So with that, we're going to continue on that path. Go ahead, John.
Any questions? Dan, yes. A couple of questions. Number one,
Can't even see him.
specify where each contractor are going to work per service area? And secondly, is this pursuant to the emergency invitation to bid that was previously issued, or is there a new ITB? And what are the sort of specs and details?
So in regards to the initial procurement, we have already reported on that. We took action on that. That yielded Ramelli, as we mentioned. This was in response to the challenges that we still faced coming out of that emergency procurement. We're entering into these contracts now. And the four that we mentioned, that we rattled off to you. And so it is in response to what the existing conditions are on the ground and our ability to stand up operations as soon as possible. That will begin on tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. In regards to the specific zones that they'll work in, they will work in both zones 1 and 2 in the city of New Orleans. It will be a very coordinated effort, and that's really it. Anything you want to add to that, Matt?
No, as the mayor said, we'll be working citywide. The teams that are being assembled will cover the entire city. We will be focusing strategically on the areas that have the most severe trash issues still facing them. We have a number of neighborhoods who have reported that they still haven't had trash service post-Ida. We have some neighborhoods that have had maybe only one, and there's other neighborhoods that are far healthier when it comes to that. So we'll be trying to work in the areas that need the need most, but we will be touching every neighborhood, every zone as part of this project.
So you're effectively like wiping out the boundaries of service areas 1 and 2 for this emergency operation and just deploying them
Citywide.
Comprehensive citywide phase. And then are you going to be like supervising them in conjunction with Metro and Richards? Like, is everything going to be combined now to where Metro and Richards are just one of now 6 primary contractors working kind of together? Is that what you're saying?
No, Metro and Richards will continue to operate per their contracts and their defined service areas. They will be, as part of this project, operating under the direction of the Unified Command and the EOC. So they'll still be providing their core missions, but in order for us to have our coordinated project here with the additional resources that are going to be coming in, we will have to have unison, and everyone will have to be following that common approach that's coming from the EOC. So not only are you going to be having our traditional solid waste providers doing their normal service of emptying cans in the city, you're going to have a significant amount of additional resources, whether that's heavy equipment, other garbage trucks from other service providers, supplementing that and working in unison with that so that when we leave a zone, and we talk about zones and, or neighborhoods, when we leave a defined area, that area is clean from the cart to the ground and will be completely clean. So that's the goal. When we leave those defined areas, no trash is left on the public right of way, byproduct of the solid waste provider and the additional resources that are coming to assist with this.
Any other questions? Roxbury, followed by remediation.
For the people, as you said, who haven't had any pickup at all since Ida, can they expect something in the next day or two? I know they're starting tomorrow, but is there a timetable that we can give those folks as far as when they might see?
Yeah, well, they can definitely expect that they are a priority, a top priority in this mission. We recognize that there are several key areas, neighborhoods in the city that, again, have yet to have a collection. And so they are the top priority. However, with this comprehensive and methodical approach, we will be focusing on our citywide.
And Mayor Cantrell, how long is this contract for? How long is it going to last?
So one of the things in regards to how we're responding to this particular mission, we're looking at this mission being activated in an upward of 30 days. Now, this is aligned with, now remember, I mentioned wanting to get some subsidy relative to FEMA. So we have to work in the defined scope and timeline associated with that. However, the issue and the focus on trash and continuity and consistency, that will not stop. We will not see a U-turn at all But in regards to this particular mission that we're embarking upon through these contracts that I will be entering, we're looking at that defined timeline more aligned with FEMA and hopefully our eligibility, to be reimbursed. And as I mentioned, this could be an upward of about 20 million in terms of a mission and operation.
WWL.
Mayor, I guess just kind of what was the difference between last week and today? I know last week a lot of us were down in the council chamber and you guys had looked for other contractors and no one was responding. So how do we get from none to 4?
Well, meeting, talking, working out issues that some may have brought to the table, alleviating fear. Many different steps were taken to build the partnerships that are necessary for us to not only create this mission, but to be able to thoroughly execute it in a manner that gets the action on the ground and the results that our people do expect. So it was definitely not something overnight. Took a lot of long hours, overnight, sleepless nights, and coordination and with our partners. And so I do also want to thank even Secretary Brown from DEQ, because engaging DEQ to therefore be able to get the approval to activate the Chef Mentor transfer station is something that we absolutely need, considering the time that it's taking for contractors to get to that landfill, and also return back. Then also adding in an additional partner like Waste Management that previously had some odds, with River Birch. So we had to work through that, and so we did what was necessary. And you have to work with people, listen, and also articulate the needs on the ground and what the priorities are. And for me, it was, hey, we need this trash removed. I understand things may have happened in the past, but hey, you have a new mayor, someone you haven't worked with before, and we built trust, we built credibility, we established a mission, and we are prepared to execute.
One more, sorry. So you talked about the engagements lasting upwards of a month. Just to be clear, does that mean it's going to take a month for them to make these first passes?
Oh, no. No.
When can we expect to see this?
Well, we do expect, as I mentioned, on tomorrow morning, the operation will start. And in key areas that have not seen any collection, right? So that will be that top priority. But making sure, again, that we sweep the entire city so that we are on the best footing possible to ensure continuity in collections and so that we do not take a U-turn. We got to keep the progress going.
Okay. Can you give us any kind of so you're starting tomorrow?
Yes.
And I expect that, as you're saying.
Well, we're starting tomorrow, but one thing that is worth noting, and you can jump in if you want to, one thing is worth noting is the added technology that we're requiring on the ground with all of our partners so that we can know in real time, even where they are, that we're holding, everyone accountable and the like. So there will be a public-facing piece to this so that you all will be able to, tap in and kind of see the progress that we're making. So being transparent in every single way. Ramsey, anything to add?
Yeah. I'm going to add to Danny, your question, what was really different than last week. One thing through Operation Mardi Gras, we've been picking up trash without garbage trucks, and we're learning how to do that a little bit more efficiently. So when we look at series, they're not real garbage trucks, but that's front-end loaders, dump trucks, sweepers, and trying to figure out, okay, we don't have access to garbage trucks, but what's another way we can do this as effectively as possible? And then the operational transition, Ben, I want to acknowledge there's a glide path, right? This is going to start, and we have a release coming out with a lot more details on this, but Ceres is mobilizing 8 crews today. Just to compare, our entire Operation Mardi Gras was 8 crews in a given day, an entire group. 8 crews today, 15 tomorrow, 25 over the weekend, glide path up to 35 crews by Tuesday. And then an additional 20 garbage trucks operating from River Birch beginning, Saturday morning. And then sort of the real linchpin of this thing is the transfer station. There's nothing more sort of frustrating than loading all this trash into a front-end loader, goes into a dump truck, and after half a block, the dump truck's got to split and be gone for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, depending on how long it takes to get it into and out of River Birch. And the transfer station makes this more attractive to operators of garbage trucks. And that is a critical component of this, and that transfer station is tracking to be operational by 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So not only are we bringing more resources to combat this problem, but we are making the resources way more efficient than the resources that are operating at this moment in time.
Can you tell us, like, how did the garbage then get from the transfer station to River Birch? Like, how long is it going to sit at the transfer station? Will the transfer station be permanent from here on?
No, so the engagement with Waste Management is 90 days. We've got, and the instructions from the mayor are very clear. Look, 30 days, if that's our objective at this moment to get this stuff cleaned up. Frankly, I view it as much shorter than that. But we need a near and permanent solution to this within a 90-day period. But that transfer station will be there for 90 days. If you look at the transfer station, the way it works is you drive in, you drive up, the truck dumps on its own into a container through 4 different big, long openings. It goes down, and once those containers are full, they get closed, and then they get driven off to River Birch. And they have enough trucks and throughput to process somewhere in the range of 100 or so dumps every single day. So it's a bit like conducting a complicated orchestra with all these contractors while we have Colonel Talley coming in, because he's managed things like this, thankfully. But I would ask the residents' patience to get, they're going to see a ton of work, and they're going to see, particularly next week, a lot of equipment out there. Drive slowly. Look out for the men and women on the streets doing this work. It's critical. It's dangerous work, but they're there to clean up your neighborhood. And we're getting this right. I think you're going to see noticeable changes. Somebody asked, how long is it going to take? You're going to see noticeable changes rapidly as a result of the confection of this deal.
So Waste Management
Last
is the one.
question.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, this is your last.
Okay. So Waste Management is the one that takes it from the transfer station to the landfill?
Yes.
And they can do about 100 loads a day?
I'm giving you an anecdote that we heard last night on site. That's kind of, but we are getting a lot of throughput out of that transfer station. And that saves, the interesting thing, service area 2, this is in service area 2, which means they're not driving, 3 towns away to drop it, to get in line, because everybody else is going to River Birch, to get in line in a difficult drive, sit, wait, come back. And River Birch has been incredibly thoughtful about making this work as well. You got to remember, this is a region-wide crisis, and we're doing things to make it more efficient for New Orleans to pick up trash, and this transfer station is a fulcrum of that.
And I think I'm most excited about, not just getting all the trash picked up, but being very intentional about cleaning it up after the trash has been collected. So the street sweepers, the pressure washing, that sort of thing. Again, we're being very intentional about leaving these neighborhoods better, and I think in better conditions even pre-Ida, and even in a way that we can see a cleaner city come out of this. That's the long-term play. So with that, thank you all again so much, and we'll provide you with updates, as needed. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Mhm.